Genesis 25 verse 1, Abraham had taken another wife, whose name was Keturah. Abraham marries Keturah after Sarah's death. Genesis 25 verse 2, she bore him Zimran, Jokshan, Medan, Midian, Ishbak and Shua. Keturah and Abraham have 6 sons together. Genesis 25 verse 3, Jokshan was the father of Sheba and Dedan. The lineage of Abraham through Keturah is described. Genesis 25 verse 4, the sons of Midian were Ephah, Epher, Hanok, Abida and Eldah. The descendants of Midian are listed. Genesis 25 verse 5. Abraham left everything he owned to Isaac. Isaac is established as the primary heir of Abraham. Genesis 25 verse 6, but while he was still living, he gave gifts to the sons of his concubines. Abraham provides for his other sons. Genesis 25 verse 7. Abraham lived 175 years. Abraham's long life is noted. Genesis 25 verse 8. Then Abraham breathed his last and died at a good old age. Abraham's death marks the end of his journey. Genesis 25 verse 9. His sons Isaac and Ishmael buried him in the cave of Machpelah. Isaac and Ishmael reunite to bury Abraham. Genesis 25 verse 10. The field Abraham had bought from the Hittites. Abraham is buried with Sarah in the family tomb. Genesis 25 verse 11. After Abraham's death, God blessed his son Isaac. Isaac is acknowledged as the carrier of God's promise. Genesis 25 verse 12. This is the account of the family line of Abraham's son Ishmael. The genealogy of Ishmael begins. Genesis 25 verse 13. These are the names of the sons of Ishmael. Nebaioth the firstborn of Ishmael. Kedar, Adbeel, Mibsam. Ishmael's descendants are listed. Genesis 25 verse 14. Mishma, Duma, Massa, Hadad, Tema. The list of Ishmael's sons continues. Genesis 25 verse 15. Jetur, Naphish and Kedema. The full genealogy of Ishmael is given. Genesis 25 verse 16. These were the sons of Ishmael. And these are the names of the 12 tribal rulers. Ishmael's lineage forms 12 tribes. Genesis 25 verse 17. Ishmael lived 137 years. He breathed his last and died. Ishmael's death is recorded. Genesis 25 verse 18. His descendants settled in the area from Havilah to Shur. Ishmael's family spreads across a wide region. Genesis 25 verse 19. This is the account of the family line of Abraham's son Isaac. The focus shifts to Isaac's lineage. Genesis 25 verse 20. Isaac was 40 years old when he married Rebekah, daughter of Bethuel. Isaac marries Rebekah. Genesis 25 verse 21. Isaac prayed to the Lord on behalf of his wife, because she was childless. Isaac seeks God's help for Rebekah's barrenness. Genesis 25 verse 22. The babies jostled each other within her. And she said, "Why is this happening to me?" Rebekah experiences unusual activity in her womb. Genesis 25 verse 23. The Lord said to her, "Two nations are in your womb, and two peoples from within you will be separated." God reveals his plan for her twins. Genesis 25 verse 24. When the time came for her to give birth, there were twin boys in her womb. Rebekah delivers twins. Genesis 25 verse 25. The first to come out was red, and his whole body was like a hairy garment. Esau the firstborn is described. Genesis 25 verse 26. After this, his brother came out, with his hand grasping Esau's heel. Jacob's birth hints at his later character. Genesis 25 verse 27. The boys grew up, and Esau became a skillful hunter, a man of the open country, while Jacob was content to stay at home. The contrasting natures of Esau and Jacob. Genesis 25 verse 28. Isaac, who had a taste for wild game, loved Esau, but Rebekah loved Jacob. Parental favoritism is introduced. Genesis 25 verse 29. Once when Jacob was cooking some stew, Esau came in from the open country, famished. Esau returns from hunting, extremely hungry. Genesis 25 verse 30, he said to Jacob, "Quick, let me have some of that red stew. I'm famished." Esau desires Jacob's stew. Genesis 25 verse 31, Jacob replied, "First sell me your birthright." Jacob offers a deal in exchange for the stew. Genesis 25 verse 32. "Look, I am about to die," Esau said. "What good is the birthright to me?" Esau undervalues his birthright. Genesis 25 verse 33. But Jacob said, "Swear to me first." So he swore an oath to him, selling his birthright to Jacob. Jacob secures Esau's birthright. Genesis 25 verse 34. Then Jacob gave Esau some bread and some lentil stew. So Esau despised his birthright. Esau sacrifices his inheritance for immediate gratification.